Day 2 of the Atlanta Falcons mandatory minicamp has officially wrapped up, and in this video I'm going to break down what happened with this camp, who's rising to the top, and where you can expect this team going forward to be competing, and honestly how well this team will do in this upcoming season. But nevertheless, just like last practice yesterday, very similar, kind of a lighter day. Mental reps were taken. Raheem Morris basically took to the stand prior to practice and said a lot. And in this video, I'm going to break down what he said, but also break down some of the highlights from practice today. Now, first, I want to start by telling you who was out there on the practice field. And this is shown in a tweet by Taryn Wack that says this. And she's basically identifying who was out there in practice today. And she says, players missing from the Falcons' second mandatory minicamp practice. Kadera Hodge, Kyle Pitts Sr., Kevin King, Troy Anderson, Braylon Trice, Caleb McGarry, David Onyemata, and Morgan Fox. All of those guys have been linked to injuries other than Morgan Fox, who's been giving a basically excused absence for a personal reason. And that's expected. Like I said, all of these guys have been tied to injuries. And the fact of the matter is, as long as they are injured, kind of rehabbing and getting better, that's an excuse for not being out there. The only kicker is basically tied in Kyle Pitts. We don't know what's going on there. No further explanation, so we'll leave that there. Now, moving forward in regards to practices, there is a couple names that have been standing out regarding the mandatory minicamp, and one that's kind of surprising, but that makes a lot of sense, is Divine Deablo. Now, Terry McElhaney had the opportunity to ask Raheem Morris about Divine Deablo, and he says this. Interesting nugget from Raheem Morris, and I'm reading you a tweet by Terry McElhaney. Interesting nugget from Raheem Morris about the addition of inside linebacker Divine Deablo. Said he fits the scheme a lot better than what they originally thought, which is big to me. Already thought Deablo was an Ulbrich linebacker archetype, so this is intriguing to me. This is Terry talking about it. Tori talking about it. She said, Deablo is someone that they could give the green dot to along with Caden Ellis. Now, this is huge news because a lot of people thought Divine Deablo was a good player, was a good linebacker, but would be a guy that's in there rotationally, scheme kind of fit guy that could get some minutes, split minutes with Troy Anderson. But this has come out that basically, if you're given the green dot, in my opinion, that means you're a leader on the team and you are a viable player or a very important player within the defense. And if they're thinking about giving it to Divine Deablo, this is huge. And that means he has been impressing in the mandatory minicamp. And if we can get an A+ Divine Deablo with an A+ Caden Ellis with some of those edge rushers that we picked up in the draft, this defense can be extremely explosive. And I'm very encouraged about what they're saying by not only Divine Deablo playing well, but them considering giving him the green dot, being the leader, calling the plays out for the defense is huge. Now, talking about some of the guys that the Atlanta Falcons recently picked up, I'm hearing that James Pierce he's in the conversation. Now, I want to read you this tweet by Rise Up Walker that says this. The Falcons fell in love with James Pierce as a person during the draft process. Morris said everything Pierce has done since he's been with the team has only solidified that. The Atlanta Falcons are happy with their pick, and James Pierce is quietly showing the haters that he is the pick. And he is one of the best picks in the late first round and should have went earlier. So James Pierce, I'm hearing he's still working off to the side. He's doing individual drills. He's not really involved a lot in the team stuff, but he's basically talking with other players. He's talking with Leonard Floyd. He's talking with his defensive line coach. Really, really, really getting a structured plan so that he can be the best version of himself. I will say this as well. Taryn Wack kind of reported what I just said. She says, Falcons head coach Raheem Morris on rookie edge rusher James Pierce Jr. When you are with him, intentional and direct, you get the best of him. And that's what I just said. They're being very, very intentional with his plan. They're being direct on what they want. And they're saying, you do this. And James Pierce seems to be rising to the occasion and rising to what they're asking of him. And I'm telling you, James Pierce as a pure pass rusher specialist will be one of the best in the NFL. You mark my words. Now, continuing on, like I said, Divine Deablo showed out. James Pierce is kind of rising up the board. We're not hearing much about Michael Penix, which is good. I've seen him, and we've seen clips of him working on the goal line, stuff like they did today. He seems to be dialed in. He seems to be leading the team. He's talking about how good his players are around him. And this is also encouraging, where you're not seeing about him miss too many passes. You don't really see too many footballs on the ground. And Michael Penix is really being a leader in this organization. And then other than that, there wasn't much. Like I said, it was a lighter mental day. Emory Jones took the team's reps today, as we've been seeing, as we saw yesterday. Essentially, they're trying to be very, very, very cautious with all their starters, especially Michael Penix with a lot on his back. And therefore, we are moving in the right direction. One quick note about Kirk Cousins. He's basically accepted the role as a backup, and it says he is encouraging Michael Penix going forward, which is huge. Kirk Cousins, $27.5 million backup. You got to love it. But if you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And if you want to see more videos like this, check this one out right here. And like always, peace.